quick injury front. Garrett had a shin/ankle, not quite sure on that. Beach had a groin, and Amari had an ankle. I just told him we're on a mat. We're on a mat. Boy, when the alarm goes off tomorrow, you better wake up and come to work and get off the mat, because that's what it is. Obviously disappointing. We'll work tomorrow and we'll see why. And we got to clean some things up. Until we do that, we're not going to win. Like today, I truthfully, give credit to San Francisco. I think we beat ourselves. Like anytime we had chances to get back in the game, whether it be the start of the game or in the first half or second half, we're beating ourselves right now. So that falls on me. And we got to do a better job collectively. But we will get up and we will have a good attitude and we will have focus and urgency towards Jacksonville. What do we got?
Are you stunned at the amount of penalties? 17, a new record for you guys?
Yes, I mean, it's a high flight crew. Like I got to look at some of them. Like when we know how they're calling the game, we have to adjust in game and not foul.
Would you consider that the biggest disappointment from today?
No, the ball was the biggest disappointment. We lost that 3-0. You're not going to beat anybody.
You said it falls on you, same thing you said last week. Why do you think that keeps happening?
Because I'm the head coach, and I'm obviously not doing a good enough job right now.
Do you worry in part that the penalties are any kind of a carryover from last week, like a lack of focus, a lack of attention?
I don't think that. I think, some of them are judgment, some of our technique related issues. They call what they call. I don't. That was a component of the game that we obviously did not do well with that. We have to control more controllables that don't relate to penalties to give ourselves a chance to win. And we did not do that.
On the interception at the end of the first half, it looked like two guys ran the same route. Is that what happened?
I don't know. I didn't see that one, honestly, Teo. I didn't mind the decision. The guy made a good play, trying to throw the ball down the field there and score points. What I did not love was the field goal at the end there.
Any thoughts on Jacoby setting the NFL record for most completions in a game?
Mark just told me he probably won't be too happy about it. He's concerned about winning.
You talk to Michael Bidwell all the time. What do you think he's going to ask you about this game?
He just asked me. We're going to get up off the mat and go play our brand of ball versus Jacksonville. Just talk to him. Yeah. He heard me what I tell the team.
You guys have allowed 40 points in 2 straight games. What is going wrong defensively in your mind?
Well, we're losing the ball. We're giving short fields up. We get people behind the sticks and we don't win third down. We get in the red zone, we don't make them kick field goals. So that's a recipe to give up a lot of points. And I am a defensive head coach. It's not acceptable. Like, you can't win when you give up that many points. And it really doesn't matter how you get there. You got to stand up and play better and keep points off the board.
How big of a component is special teams in the factor in what happened today?
The first play goes down to that's not the way you want to start. I thought Dorsch had a good play. I thought we had another return we had a flag on that one. It's all of us, we got to do, and guys are in different roles in different spots. There's a trickle down effect to attrition, and we got to handle that better.
I know you just said guys are in different spots. How did you see Michael Wilson playing today in his?
I thought he played his ass off. Got open and caught it. Was tough. Good yak. I mean, he was really played really well today.
How do you guys get off the mat?
Yeah, come back to work. Come back to work, Bob. I told him, I said, you can be down, but understand this is a privilege and it should be a joy to come to work. And that group will do that. I don't have any hesitation that they won't come to work tomorrow with the right attitude and mindset. What needs to improve in game is we got to keep our foot down, and when we hit some adversity, we have to respond. Collectively have to respond better when we're having some adversity, whether it be multiple things, that can go on in a game. But that's every team has to do that, and we're not handling that the right way to me today, at least.
You seem more angry at yourself than I can remember after a loss. Why is that?
Showing it today, huh? Well, you want to go out and play well at home and get back in the mix, and we didn't do that, So yeah, I'm not real happy right now, but my feelings are irrelevant, Like when we come back to work tomorrow, how can I impact winning? That's how I think, and that locker room does too. They think that too, and so do the coaches. So. It's a collective effort to do our jobs better.
You faced a lot of adversity last week and came back and had that showing today. What makes you think they can come back from the
Yeah,
adversity?
I mean, I know the game got out of hand there, but you cut it to a one-score game coming out of the third quarter, and I know that got taken off the board, but those games get away from you when you have to play like that when you're down in the second half. So we didn't get to play straight up, and you're making decisions throughout the game, onside kick, onside kick, onside kick. Like, you're giving them short field, so that I always say this, like, when there's decisions to be made, I'm going to do everything that I can to put our team in position to try to come back and win the game. I'm not worried about getting blown out. Like, that's how I make decisions. You guys have heard me say that. So if the score is whatever it is right now, lost by 19, that's a reflection of why that happened when we got down when we got down. I'm making decisions to try to get back in the game rather than wave the white flag. I'm never going to wave the white flag. And that's what it is. Then you got to live with that result because it's not fun. But we need to do it. That's 2 games in a row now. We've gotten in the middle of the third, fourth quarter, and we haven't been able to play straight up. You're not going to beat good teams doing that. You're not going to beat good teams doing that. You're really probably not going to beat anybody doing that.
The 62-yarder at the end of the first half where you guys had the personal foul, did you feel like you guys were too aggressive there, or was that just an individual mistake?
I got to look at it. They know they can't hit the head and neck area. I didn't obviously see that. Obviously that it's 3 points on the board at the end. After they scored 3 points, they ended up doubling us up twice there. Kyle wants to possess the ball. That's why I started calling timeouts the drive before that to give ourselves a chance to have the ball. And then we throw the interception, and then they get another field goal. So 6 points in less than 2 minutes going into half. And what was the score at half? 25-10. You're looking at 19-10. You're like, yeah, okay, you're down 2 possessions, no big deal. That's life. But now you're down 2 scores, and you got to dig your way out. So those 6 points at the end of the half, like, yes, it's only 6 points, but that's a big component of the game right there. How you have to then play in the second half, and then they get another touchdown on the board. Now it's out of whack. And that's what I mean by not being able to play straight up. No one can, all 3 phases when you're down that much, you can't play the game how you want to play it, And that's a credit to San Francisco. They made it that way for us today.